Hello, welcome to How Are You an Adjuster? My name is Curtis Horge, a licensed and abundant public insurance adjuster. And today I got a special guest on the show, new to the game as a public adjuster. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the show. This is Curtis Horge, a licensed and abundant public insurance adjuster. Today, I have a special guest on the show who's new to the game. Let's welcome Miss Kam Perez. How you doing, Kam?
I'm doing great, Curtis. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
It's good to have you on the show. Now, tell us, your company, Brite Lite Public Adjusting, how long have you been in the business? Tell me about your background.
Well, I actually started being a public adjuster in May of 2023. And Brite Lite was launched in July of this year.
Awesome. So I'm sure somebody may help you, because a lot of people have a lot of problems with coming over from any type of industry or even from the insurance company side to be a public adjuster. They say it's tough. So can you tell us some of the things that you've kind of dealt with coming over from tell us where you came from first, and when you got into it, what are some of the things that you had to, adjust to?
Well, I was a teacher for about 5 years. And so I come from teaching, which, in teaching, you can't say enough about it being a moving target as far as in the classroom. So with public adjusting, I brought that same skill with me, and it has been used and used and used and used. As a new public adjuster, it does seem like it's a moving target, because I've learned that there are no two claims are the same. They're always different. It's hard to kind of figure out. As a newbie, my main thing is like, I'm trying to figure out how to streamline the process. There's no streamlining, because every claim is different, and I just can't. It's wonderful though. I love it, because you learn something new every day. You learn and meet new people. Some of the pros are that I get to educate families. I get to advocate for families, help them turn lemons into lemonade, especially when their whole house is burnt down. It's like, it's been very rewarding.
So let me ask you a question. Do you specialize mostly in fires, or do you other types of claims, or what claims do you do?
Well, so far I have done mostly fires. I've done some water damage claims, but I can say that I am a specialist in fires. I've learned a ton of things when it comes to fire restoration. So
that's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. And you're out of where?
I live in Fort Worth, Texas. But I do service all of Texas. I've been to the Panhandle, Houston, San Antonio, Austin. So I service all of Texas.
That is awesome. Okay, so you've been a public adjuster for about a little more than a year.
Yeah.
What's your biggest cons of being a public adjuster? What's the things that you wish you could see changed in the industry?
Oh man, I could tell you. So when I started back last year in May of 2023, and then looking at how the differences are today in October of 2024, I can say that contractors, which is it's a very positive thing. Contractors are more willing to work with PAs now than they were and this is just a little bit over a year ago when I started. So it's been a very big change in a positive direction.
That's probably because of the UPPA, the unauthorized practice of public adjusting, that TAPIA has kind of really been all over and made sure that we kind of separate ourselves from contractors, restoration companies. We do what we do, they do what they do. Everybody got a side. But since they can't use claim specialists and insurance specialists, they can't represent property owners, they can't speak policy, they can only write estimates and hope the insurance company, receive that estimate as a settlement or not. If they do not receive it, then they have to call us. And like I said, I've worked with a whole lot of contractors through the years, but for the most part, it's always been difficult to get these guys to kind of be on the same page. But lately, like I see that as well, where contractors, a lot of them say they'll work with you, but you never see the business. But some of them actually will try to get you on jobs, but if they can handle it themselves, then that's what that is. That's normally how they go, right?
Yeah. I mean, I do believe that a public adjuster is not necessary on every single claim, but there are quite a bit of them that really should have a public adjuster on them. So yeah,
I would say if it's a major loss, then they need one. But it's just too many things the insurance company can, not expose or let you know about. And the property owner may not have the knowledge to know about these things and know what to look for. We do. And I always want the people to just pay the insurance company to pay what they owe. That's all. Just pay what they owe. That's my philosophy.
Yeah.
And if they pay what they owe, we would not be licensed and bonded by the state of Texas as public adjusters, right?
Right.
So was it hard for you to get licensed?
Say that again.
Was it hard for you to get licensed? Get your license?
No. As a matter of fact, I had a great mentor to get into the industry. And so all I did was I just studied a little bit. I didn't have to get a course or anything. I just studied a little bit. And I actually took the test like 5 times, which is kind of, it's not something to be proud of.
It's hard. It's like passing a bar.
Yes, I studied, I guess a little bit is, I don't know. It depends on the person who's calling something a little bit, but to me it was a little bit. And so I took the test 5 times and passed on the 5th. And I don't think it was that hard. I really don't.
Well, for the record, I want you to know the past presidents in Tapia. I know those guys. My dad, started back in 1969. Their dads taught my dad. So now we're the sons. And so those guys were responsible for making that public adjuster test, which has like 3 or 4 that they rotate around if you have to take it over and over again. Very, very fieldy. Things they deal with things we never deal with, like auto insurance or medical insurance and all kind of things. We don't really have to deal with that. But I asked them, I said, why did y'all make that test so hard? And it's what they said. They said they wanted the average public adjuster to have a little bit more knowledge than an independent or staff adjuster. And I'm glad they did that.
Yeah.
Because I was listening to Chip Merlin say one day, he said, it's funny. He said, an earthquake can hit Texas. And all of a sudden, you guys are earthquake experts.
Right.
I thought that was hilarious. Like, yeah, you're right. We should try to adjust it, But most policies don't cover earthquake, in Texas. But we're all on a fault line. My wife's a science teacher, and she keeps telling me that. I'm like, okay, well, hope we don't have no problem. But yeah, so it's a very hard test to take. It's not the average test you take for 3 days. And I got my adjuster license. That's for the insurance companies or independent adjusting. The public adjuster license, exclusive license, we can represent property owners. We can negotiate on their behalf, and we can read through policy and explain policy. We can't interpret it, but we can explain policy. We deal with policies all the time. We read through policies on claims and make sure people are being taken care of and represented in a proper way. You need representation if it's a major loss. Don't take a chance on trying to handle a major loss with hundreds of thousands of dollars at stake and just trust it to someone that's going to pay you the money to tell you how much they owe you. You need a second opinion.
Oh, yeah.
So the sooner you get a public adjuster in, the better. Am I right?
Oh, yeah. Yep. You're right.
We have more leverage up front than the back end. Sometimes we get calls on the back end, but I would say the front is the best time to hire us because we can definitely kind of navigate the claim and make sure it's working in your benefit.
Oh, yeah.
Cam, I want to thank you for just, coming out and just being a new public adjuster, but I want to let people know. So people think that, hey, I want to be a public adjuster too. What would you say to them?
It's a lot of grunt work.
It is.
It's a lot of grunt work.
It's
it is
hard.
Not for the faint at heart.
There you go.
You need to be the type of person that says that when I start something, I finish it no matter what.
Right.
You're gonna have to see it through to the end, and it's not very easy. You have to roll up your sleeves, and you're gonna have to walk through those homes where there's, for example, there's a freezer that has been sitting there in a house with no lights, no electricity, and all the food has spoiled and maggots have, you have to be, roll up your, that's pretty disgusting, but it happens, to families when their houses catch fire or they've lost everything that they worked hard for, and you have to be that person that goes in that house for them and do the assessment and, gather evidence of the damage no matter what. And so that's just a small snippet of the grunt work that we have to go through as public adjusters.
What you mentioned, that refrigerator with the spoiled food, and the rule is never open it. Never. I don't care if you need a model. Do not open it. You will not be able to work in there.
Where were you 2 weeks ago? Where were you 2 weeks ago with that?
Oh, you open one? You open one trying to get a model number? Oh, I'd have been mad at you. I'd have been very upset. Like, what did you do? No.
I'll never do that again.
But normally we try to get those things hauled off. Get them in the front yard, get somebody to pull the stuff out there. But you open inside that house, anybody into the house gonna smell rotten food for the time till they start turning out the walls.
Not to mention the visual that never goes away. It's just kind of like.
I've never even seen it. I don't know if I even looked at that like that. I mean, I've seen stuff on the countertops and in the sink go bad, but I don't want to know what's in the refrigerator because I can smell it.
Yeah,
I'll just take your word for it.
It's the stuff that horror films are made out of. Let me just say that.
Hey, but you got that model number, didn't you? Exactly. I need a model number. Yeah. So it's just ups and downs of being a public adjuster. It's a dirty job. I thought about we got to get that guy on the dirty job guy to come do a contents inventory in a burnt house. That's a dirty job.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's good, but it's good to have you on the show. It's good meeting you. I met you out in the field, and I wanted to get you on the show and just kind of introduce you as a new public adjuster. I do want to encourage you to join Tapia. I want you to be my special guest. We're going in. The meeting is October the 28th through the 30th. It's in San Antonio. It's about a week or so on now. Okay. October 20th to the 30th in San Antonio, the Riverwalk Embassy Suites. If you can come down, I want to introduce you to all the big heads and all the big boys, all the guys who hold the history of public adjusting in Texas. You need to know these. To be a good public adjuster, you need to know these people.
I would love to attend. Thank you.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that later. I'd love to have you there, and it'd be great. You know what I'm saying? So I thank you for being on the show. Thank you for coming out. We'll get you back on the show soon, and we'll talk about different things in the losses we deal with, and how some technical stuff about decisions we have to make in the field. At the drop of a dime, you know what I'm saying? We can sometimes make quick decisions. Sometimes we got to make, long-term decisions in the field, but it's all in for the property owner to make sure that they're taken care of. We're serving the public and making a living doing it.
Yes.
Am I right?
Indeed. Yes, you're right. Yes, I would have to agree with you 100%.
Definitely. So, and that's a lot of joy in that. It's a lot of fulfillment in that, knowing you're taking care of people because they couldn't do it on their own. So thank you, Kam. Thank you for your company, Brite Lite Services. You said what that bright light means? It's got a woman with a flashlight. What is she looking for?
She's looking for hidden coverages.
All right, I like that. Reading through that policy. My dad always say the more you know about the policy, the more you can help people. Thank you for listening, and thank you for being a part of the show. I want to thank our special guest, Mr. Kam Perez from Brite Lite Public Adjusting. Thank you guys. I ask that you subscribe, like, and share, and hit that notification button so you'll know when new content come out. We have many more people going to be coming out on the show, sharing information that consumers need to know. I want to thank y'all for being involved, and thank you for your support. Have a blessed one.